Until recently, I had a false impression or understanding of what God's judgment meant. I grew up thinking that God's judgment was to be feared, that it was something really bad, like, oh, you did this or you did that. God's judgment's going to come upon you, and God's going to judge this, and God. We hear it all the time. God's going to judge, and so I had garnered this resistance towards God's judgment. I had, started to learn to fear it. It was something that was not at all welcoming to me, and God started showing me the beauty of the threshing floor, and how when grain is sifted on the threshing floor, it's lovingly picked through, and the things that are good are separated from the things that are bad, and the things that are bad are removed. That's a very simplistic explanation of it. But what was impressionable to me is that it's not done out of anger, it's done lovingly. It's a time of separation, that you take the things that are not sustainable away from the things that are. And he showed me how, when I go through my kids' devices, that's a time of me putting my children's entertainment on the threshing floor. I'm going through and I'm seeing, what are you watching? What are you exposing yourself to? Is this good for you? And if it's not, then I remove it. I don't allow them to have access to it anymore. I don't do it out of anger. I don't do it out of bitterness towards them. I do it because I love them and I want to do what's best for them. And he brought it home to me when he showed me that my son came home several years ago from school and had been injured. He was being bullied at school, and he hadn't told me about it, but he was emotionally injured from this bullying experience, and how my heart broke for my son. That I literally, if I could have, would have crawled in his body and took every bit of that hurt away, because I loved him that much. I would have inserted myself into that environment if I could, and carved out that thing that was harming my son. That's the judgment of God. That's the threshing floor. So stop resisting the judgment of God. That's how much he loves you.